everyone. Hi. My name is Elad. I'm here with Ofer. We are from LivePerson. I'm a technical leader, and Ofer is the group leader. Before I begin, I want to thank again Telestax for bringing us here to speak. Thank you. Okay. LivePerson is one of the industry leaders of the business chats. And LivePerson has a new approach now using messaging. What we're going to review here is all kind of techniques that we discover while trying to do this process. So this presentation is actually for a person from enterprise who's thinking about moving for messaging. Here you will get some inputs, some best practice, how to do so, what the field that you should refer to. And I will start with a simple question. We have in the screen here, we have a WhatsApp and LivePerson app. I guess most of us familiar with the WhatsApp or any other messaging stuff. Then what's exactly the difference between just the messaging and what is called messaging for enterprises? What's the difference? So in the next slides, I will try to show some diff between the two subjects. Before I begin, some terms. Okay, consumer is a visitor who wants to engage with one of the brand's agents. Some customer who want engagements. Brand is the owner of the service. Could be service provider, SMB, whatever. Agent or agent manager is the brand representative. Okay? Conversation represent asynchronous messaging engagement, meaning some business engagement style WhatsApp. Okay? It could be async, it could be for days. It doesn't have to be right now and to be ended in the same moment. CCP, customer care professional. It's actually a new name for agent. It's like agent is a customer care professional. We want to give him all the integrity. He should be someone that you rely on. Okay. Okay. Some terms. One of the basic terms that I'm going to discuss is called the response time. Definition. Response time is the amount of time consumer expects to get the next response from the call center representative. The time could be variant. It could be 1 hour or 5 minutes, okay? But we must have a mutual expectations between the consumer, the customer, and the call center. Off hours. In some cases, the call center is actually not working. So even if you call and you want, this is async messaging, I want to start for ask something, it's okay. But the expectation must be, you must know that no one should be get back to you in the next minutes because we are off hours now. This is a sample how it looks, the notification to the client. So as you can see in the picture, you can start the engagement, but application tells you, please be patient, wait for a while, they'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay, some concepts. When talking about async messaging, in case where there is a customer waiting, we must provide a measurement. As a consumer, I want to know when you plan to get back to me. It's not the same scenario as my wife sending me some message, please bring bread when you come home. And then after like 5 hours, I see the message because I was busy and I click, okay, I will get something back. Okay, it's okay. But in this case, there is a real customer, he's waiting, he wants a service, and even if the service is not supposed to be now, he must know when you're going to get back to him. Okay, this is concept one. And this is actually not a simple question how to measure it. Because in the old world, like when a service provider wants to know how many agents I need for between 8 and 10, then it was very easy to measure how many chats they did on the same time. But while you're talking about transactions that could take days, then how do you measure it exactly? It's not so simple answer. Okay, second thing is customer who uses the application for the first time should be treated with more attention. Meaning the first time that someone uses some new application, you want to be very nice to him, especially for the first time. You want him to feel comfortable to use the service again, okay? So you need indicators for the first time. And the third one, sometimes there are real-time scenarios. I have a flight in 5 minutes and I have an issue. I need someone now to help me, not in an hour, not now, in the next 5 minutes. So I want to be able to have kind of tight relation between the consumer and the agent. So the consumer could tell me, this is urgent, please help me, I need help now. Okay, just to understand the flow, here's a simple flow. Some customers say, hi, I need help. And the expectation is everyone know, the agent and the consumer, that in 5 o'clock someone will get back to you, okay? The consumer continue, my network is down, I need help. Okay, sure, no problem, someone will get back to you. As long as it's like a ping pong. As long as we understand each other, everything is okay. Now the agent sends back a message, I've solved the problem, please check. Now the call center is actually returning the ball to the consumer. Okay, I finish, it's your ball. So now the expectation is that I don't need to get back to you. Wait, my network is still down, still have an issue. Okay, sure. Now I have another hour to get back to you. This I tried to illustrate in a simple way how this ping pong should work. This is very, very important when talking about async messaging for enterprise. This thing is also can be measured. As agent manager, I'm sitting in my desktop and I want to know, okay, how is my call center work? Is everything okay? People are happy, not happy, what's going on? Then I can see the timelines, and if someone commitment to get back to a customer in a certain time and he don't do it, then I can see it and I can talk to him, I can do whatever I want as agent manager. So the measurement, this is the key. The measurement, how I know something is not wrong, this is the measurement. Very important. Okay, another best practices. There are multiple best practices. This is different area. The status indicators that we can see, that we're all familiar with. When my wife sent me the same example, please bring me the bread, okay, it doesn't mean so much, okay, receive, you didn't receive, okay. But now it might be a legal case here. I must prove as an enterprise that I really send him the message that he should add $2 to the bill or something like this. So this is really important, small issue that must be persistent over time. Okay, another best practice. People are going to chat with me all the time, messaging with me all the time. Actually, it's not chat, messaging. And I don't want to have a long messaging. I want to divide to small pieces. So what we call the conversation is actually, if I say in a simple way, I will call it small issue, okay? You came to me with some issue, I help you. In the example that I saw before, my network is down. I ask you, everything okay? Your network is okay? You say, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Then I can close the issue. Next time you can continue. It's okay, you can continue. Open another small issue. This is the tight relation that we have. Reports and events, another best practice. Messaging is nice, but someone needs to have reports. I have to billing. I have all kinds of information that I must gather around the messaging. So it's obvious I must have all these mechanisms. And of course, I need persistency over time. I need to be able to get a certain chat messaging after 2 weeks to see what was happened there, okay? This is kind of very obvious, but here is the same. Here's an example. In this report page, as an agent manager, when I look in this report, I see that there are 2 consumers that no one gave them a service. There is some issue here. I need to do something. I need to do it maybe manually, maybe, I don't know, but something is wrong, okay? This is the reporting. This is a sample. This is sample from LivePerson app, by the way. Secure information. In some cases, consumers want to send credit card details, okay? I'm trying to sell something, the consumer is here, he's happy, he wants to buy, he wants to give me all the details. Then, of course, I want to take all the credit card and to finish what I've started, right? So, in order to support this, the product must be PCI compliant. We in LivePerson, we have a PCI certificate, which this is the definition. You can see the definition. it's not so simple as it seems, if anyone familiar with the PCI. In order to get the PCI certificate, you must, there are certain cases that someone come every year and test you. It's not so simple to get a PCI certificate. So if you want to charge, you need to have this service. So actually, this is another slide. You can see a sample phone with a CVV, you know, the numbers in the back of the credit card. And actually, what I've seen so far in the presentation, all these services are actually additional services on top of the messaging, right? We talked about messaging so far. I'm going to continue to show you some more. But actually, messaging was only a small part of all these services, okay? So now we try to figure what's meaning messaging for enterprise, right? It's not just the messaging, it's all the rest. Okay, continue with some other example. I'll show you a short movie. This is something we have in LivePerson called sentiment analysis. We use it in production, meaning by analyzing the text messages, I can know if you're a happy consumer or not. It's live, it's in production, and it's very useful to give the agent manager these tips. Please, let's show the movie together, and then we'll continue to discuss it. There is no sound, by the way. I'll be the sound. Here we see some consumer who want to engagement with an agent. Okay, and now you're saying, I've been your customer for the last 9 years. Okay. And then I would like to disconnect, please. So, the system which identified the text already, and you look in the up there, you see face, a red face. She identified this is not an happy customer. So, in the backward process, the agent manager, which is on the same call, he gets a notification, meaning there is some unhappy, very unhappy consumer, and then he decided what he should do. So now he's checking out what's happened, he's reading the last messages, and now he sees something is wrong here, he wants to do something to make it better, so he's opening a private message to the consumer and saying, I want to help you, I'm ready to give you a discount, whatever he wants. Okay? All of this is, by the way, real-timey. It's not an hour or 2 hours, it's real time, almost near real time. So, what I'm trying to say that messaging for enterprise meaning to have intelligence, right? Not just sending or reading the text, have intelligence on top of this text. Third-party integrations, Facebook, Line, SMS. I don't care how you're going to reach me, but I want you to reach me in any way you feel convenient with, okay? I want you to be happy as a consumer. It doesn't matter if you connect via Facebook or Line, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to give you the service. If you are happy with Facebook, then okay, let's talk with Facebook. If you're happy with Line, go ahead. It's very important, and when LivePerson start integration with each one of this and more. Routing. Routing is one of the things, big data and routing is actually one of the specialists of LivePerson. Routing meaning that if I have multiple agents, then I want to, if I have a new messaging, I want to pick up the agent which is free. I don't want to give all the calls to some agent which is very busy. I want to find all the time which is the best optimized agent to give him this call to handle. It's much more complicated than it. It's just simple example. It could be by expertise, language, for example. Maybe some person in the call center is speaking English, while other not. Okay, it's very complicated. And also best effort routing, meaning, for example, I prefer that if I have a new issue with the messaging, that the same agent that handled me before will take and handle me again because you're already familiar with me and I'm familiar with him. I feel comfortable with him. So this all kind of stuff. Surveys and summary. I want to know as an enterprise, are you happy as a consumer? Did he treat you well? Not? Okay? So I must have all this stuff. And also on the agent side, I want to give a small report about this consumer. This is a very interesting consumer. Maybe we should contact him. All kind of stuff. Voice escalation and screen sharing. In some cases, conversation start with messaging, but requires escalation to voice, auto screen sharing. So in order to help our customer, we must support all of this. This is a short summary. So if I refer to the initial question that I asked before, what's the difference between messaging and messaging for enterprises? Then I think here are some issues that you can see the difference between just the messaging and messaging for enterprise. This is actually something that Offer now leading in LivePerson. This is a real-time scenario we handle every day at work. So this is the summary, and this is our experience. Thank you all. Any questions?
Thank you, Elad. Hang on. Thanks. Thank you. So this kind of, the stream is real-time enterprise stream. And what I observe from the solution that LivePerson that you delivered today is that it's a combination of a lot of little bits of functionality, a little bit of services that you combine together in an interesting way, much the same as, say, Uber has done for their app or Airbnb have done for their app. But you've taken the same principles and applied this to contact centers and so on. So you've got bits of functionality, bits of service that you've integrated into one key end solution. Now, do you see
Is this the question or the...
That's an observation of what you're doing, but in terms of how disruptive that is to existing enterprise software solutions, the question is, how do you see this going forward? Do you see more and more of this being done? And how do you, when you sell into the enterprise, how do you match up against the more traditional solutions with your integrated solution? So that's interesting, how you get that to market. That's the key question.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very good question. First of all, you're right. The solution of LivePerson actually divided into many small blocks, which each small blocks gives additional value for the customer, which meaning it could be enterprise or small business. By the way, our solution, by the way, is not only for enterprise, okay? This presentation is about enterprise, but also small business. So according to what you summarized, you're correct. It's correct, what you've mentioned. And the way how we're going to integrate it more, this is actually something, kind of new trend. This is something that's going on for the last year and on. And this is actually vision of our director of LivePerson. He actually believes he's going to change the world, and he believes people deserve better service. And actually, in our private lives, everyone already doing it. So this example that I spoke before about my wife, I think everyone here will agree, this example, right? It's not some weird scenario. But somehow when it's reached some service that I'm going to pay for it even, somehow it's not working like this today. There is an inconvenience. You need to call, you need to wait. So we believe that a long time messaging will be more and more. Of course, voice will always exist, okay? But if today most of the call centers support mainly the voice, the async messaging will be, in percentage, will be greater each year. This is what we believe. And we started to demonstrate this idea to some big enterprises, T-Mobile, for example. And there is some feeling that everyone believes that something should be changed. I don't know how and what exact steps, a year, 2 years, I don't know the exact steps, but something is wrong. People are not happy from the current support they deserve, including myself, by the way, when I'm clicking, I don't know, calling Bezek or other provider I have. So I believe it will change. It will take time. It won't be in a second because the enterprises should be prepared themselves for all kinds of stuff, not just get messaging. Some started, you can see some places where people more using messaging, even for, I don't know, maybe small business and higher maybe. And eventually it will reach most of the enterprise, I believe. Still there will be the voice, it's not going away, just the percentage between the messaging and the voice will be more equal or more.
Great. Thanks a lot, Elad. Great presentation. I think I hope you could do a lot of business with companies that I have to deal with, because I think it makes a lot of sense. Thanks.
I hope for all of us that this will work, because our life for all of us will be much better. Thank you.